You may or may not be able to read this poster, but it's Thanksgiving question mark and picture arranged into a question mark. How can we ignore what it represents? African people in America are victims of the same process that resulted in the murder of millions of Native Americans. America was built by stolen labor on stolen land. And at that time, we were advocating folks to fast in protest of our people's cooperation with our own genocide. Now, I'm not big on the dominant movement activity that protest represents, where we're attempting to appeal to people outside of ourselves for them to do something that we want or something on our behalf. I've spoken at length to that in other videos. There's a video that talks about it's not about entitlements. But I ain't got no problem protesting to my own folks, all right? Because there's a lot of stuff that we do that leads into or supports, maintains our being under somebody else's control. So we said, don't feast on Thanksgiving Thursday. Hopefully you can make your way through reading the account that we gave of misgiving, its origins, that's here. But I want to point out something that I came to understand. See, back in 1982, I actually thought that our group, and those movement people who we were connected to, could drive a wedge between our people's behavior and the dominant society's participation in things like misgiving. And I kind of had to learn the hard way that it was a major task trying to drive that wedge among people who already believe themselves to be involved, down, conscious, revolutionary, all of those kind of terms. Today we would say woke. It's like, wow, it is nowhere near as simple as simply asking the question. The process has been much slower and tedious. I don't know. Something might possibly, for factors that I do not know, something might go viral, and then next year don't nobody want to be down with it, because there's aspects of how media, social media, and even though we know that media and social media are controlled by major corporations and do the bidding of certain political entities, we also know that they aren't able to predict how things might go, and something might unexpectedly go that way. And then somebody like Baba Brother D, now he's in sync, because none of us, we don't eat on that day, all right? But we certainly was not able to do that simply by having the program that we held for a number of years. Tribute to the fighting spirit of Native American and African people. And in the early days of organizing this event, we've had Native American speakers, right? And of course, African speakers, and I will say that I have seen opposition to America's misgiving activity grow over these past 37 years. I myself started fasting on that day in 1978 was my first time fasting. So last year, or maybe the year before that, made 40 years of me fasting on this date. And come this Thursday, I will be fasting. Okay? But recognizing that I do not know how to more quickly or more effectively move the behavior of my people, that the correct thing for me to do is to learn. And that's how I describe my involvement in this movement. I am learning how to organize, because I contend that if we knew how to organize the African community, we would be a whole lot further along than we are now. Giving us the benefit of the doubt, we must not know. And if we don't know, then I need to be engaging in finding out. Lastly, and I realized that I did not get into this in the previous video, talking about my history in the 70s. But we need to point out, whether or not you agree, or to whatever extent you agree with anything that I've said, the most important thing that we would like to happen is for folks to connect with other folks. Not hundreds of other folks, not tens of other folks, handful of other folks. 2 other people, 4 other people, 7 other people, all right? And form something tight. Yeah, I know you already know each other, y'all already cool, and maybe there's certain things that you already do with each other. But there's a whole lot more things that we need to be doing with each other, including, not the least of which, is learning how to more effectively disagree and challenge each other's ideas without getting bent out of shape. Learning how to criticize folks and take criticism from folks without getting bent out of shape. Allowing folks to be on each other's case. Allowing folks to push each other forward. Taking the responsibility of pushing folks forward. One major area that we need to be pushed forward is the state of health among us is whack. All right? You know this in all likelihood in your own families. Okay? I've been to a couple of funerals over the past couple of weeks. All right? Individuals who are not that old. Okay? We need to be on each other's case, pushing each other forward. We need to be learning independent. We need to be learning survival skills, right? We need to be pushing each other around preparedness, because we do not know what is going to go down. You see the signs around you. Sounds like you sit here in New York and listen to the news. Sound like California is burning down. All right. Weather phenomena that is catching people all off guard. Right. polar ice caps melting, right? We don't know what or how much is going to go down. And we basically chilling. We basically occupy ourselves with trying to figure out how can we get some more from out of this country. Okay, we need to be spending quality attention trying to figure out how are we going to survive the fall of this country. Because there's many people who follow the signs. They're not talking about if this thing falls. They're talking about when it falls. And fact of the matter is, whether or not it falls, we need to be in a much more better position to coordinate ourselves than we are right now. And I'm hoping that regardless of what because I can see somebody sitting there now like, I'm going to eat my turkey. I don't know if you see. I can hear that. All right? And I'm not going to pretend like I'm just mad cool with you eating your turkey and the other stuff that's on that menu. Okay? Some of y'all know I'm vegan. I ain't trying to deal with any animal products. But I'm not expecting you to become vegan. Okay? I'm not even expecting you to stop celebrating America's misgiving. Although I will give you a little bit of a hard time in terms of it. I have no problem with what I call provoking constructive guilt. I have no problem with that at all. People be talking, oh, don't be judgmental. Come on, humans, that's what humans do. Humans judge each other. Humans, whether we may not judge each other to our face, all right? But we certainly be like, and you know what he be doing? Let me tell you about her, all right? I ain't got no problem provoking constructive guilt. But if you don't hear anything else that I'm saying come together with somebody. Not who I tell you to get together with. You choose who to get together with, but there's a lot of skills that we need to learn. So, coming across this was, actually, I went looking for this. I was like, I gotta have one of these posters around somewhere. This is a major part of my history, and it allows me to reflect on things that I've learned since 1982. I'm Baba Brother D, and once again, I thank you for your attention.